Kazakhstan has chosen the multi-vector integration. Its trends, collisions and prospects are coming up in the Single Market program.
Здравствуйте, с вами Павел.
Hello, my name is Pavel Koktышев, and you're watching Single Market.
Чехия считается самой индустриально развитой.
The Czech Republic is considered to be the most industrially developed country in Eastern Europe. However, recently the country has been exhibiting a slowdown in its economic growth tempos. In 2016, its GDP rose by only 2.3%. In comparison with 2015, the growth rate decreased almost twofold. That is why today, Czech Republic is looking for new windows of opportunity. One of them is the expansion of trade and economic cooperation with Kazakhstan.
Сотрудничество с Казахстаном.
Two Kazakhstan-Czech business forums in Astana, plus in Prague a session of the Kazakhstan-Czech Intergovernmental Commission on Economic, Industrial and Technical Cooperation. At the same time, all three meetings were held over a short period of time, 2.5 months. I think you would agree that this is a definite sign. A sign that the trade and economic cooperation, after a decline, is entering an active phase. I would remind that last year trade turnover between Kazakhstan and the Czech Republic, in comparison to 2015, fell by 7.2%. The main reason? The inertia-like character of market processes connected with the fallen prices of raw materials, first and foremost of hydrocarbons. In addition, the unfavorable factors on a domestic scale. For Kazakhstan, this is correlation of national currency. For the Czech Republic, strengthening of competition on its market on the part of Asian and European companies. All this could not go unnoticed by the relevant entities responsible for the business relations between the countries.
Хотим, чтобы товарооборот между Казахстаном и Чешской Республикой постоянно повышался.
We would like for trade turnover between Kazakhstan and the Czech Republic to constantly increase in volume, so that it is not just gas and oil, but other goods that enter the Czech market and vice versa, and for Czech firms to appear which would have their stores and joint enterprises here.
Здесь будут иметь свои магазины, которые будут иметь свои совместные предприятия.
Kazakhstan welcomes these prospects because in the recent times not only trade turnover has been falling, but also the inflow of Czech investments into the country's economy. In the last 11 years, it amounted to just $186 million. And out of 185 joint enterprises that are registered in Kazakhstan, only 107 are operating, even though the country has substantially improved its investment climate. Investors in priority sectors are relieved from paying the corporate, income and land tax for 10 years and from property tax for 8 years. The state compensates a part of investors' spending after the commissioning of an object, the attraction of foreign labor force for the entire period of realization of the investment project, and 1 year after the commissioning is realized without any quotas or permits. In addition, we should not discount the prospects that are opening on the territory of Kazakhstan for enterprises established with the attractive Czech capital. The country is close to large markets of Russia, China, Iran, and Central Asian countries. An additional incentive is Kazakhstan's membership in the Eurasian Economic Union, the total population of which is more than 170 million people, and aggregate GDP $2 trillion. Kazakhstan positions itself as a business transit logistical hub of the Central Asian region, a wide bridge between Europe and Asia, the gates to the market of the Eurasian Economic Union, China and Iran. The project that Kazakhstan wants to realize in partnership with the Czech Republic are connected with the priorities of the national economy. In particular, the country is interested in attracting Czech investments and technologies into the machine building sector. This sector is particularly strong in the economy of the Czech Republic, forming the basis for its export potential. We're already seeing certain results: the assembly line of Skoda Octavia vehicles and the President Edition vehicle. Considering the new trends of the global market, the auto concern Skoda Auto and the energy company CEZ are putting together their financial and technological resources in order to manufacture electric cars on an industrial scale, as well as charging stations, and to deliver electrical energy to them in a centralized manner. The Czech Republic is ready to actively cooperate with Kazakhstan in other segments of machine building sector, for the energy sector, food industry, and manufacturing of equipment for agriculture. For example, for the creation of joint enterprises that produce spare parts for tractors and combiners of such global brands like John Deere and Claas.
когда у этой дорогой техники закончится
When the exploitation period of this expensive equipment expires, then clients will start looking for inauthentic parts that are a bit cheaper. We're offering European quality for prices affordable in the East.
Предлагаем, так как здесь уже было сказано, европейское качество за восточные цены.
The agricultural sector of Kazakhstan for the Czech Republic is a new niche, which is planning to attract its own investments and technologies. Czech entrepreneurs are attracted by factors such as the country's agricultural potential, the world's growing demand for food products, and the prospects of Kazakhstan's agro-industrial complex within the context of the new development program. Some companies from the Czech Republic have already expressed their desire to realize projects in Kazakhstan on the establishment of agricultural complexes in the husbandry and poultry sectors. Reboot. Perhaps this process is best characterized today by the state of the trade and economic cooperation between Kazakhstan and the Czech Republic. The choice of spheres for partnership shows this. It is focused on the possibilities of the Czech Republic and the new priorities of Kazakhstan's economy. That is why the business dialogue between the countries is becoming more mobile, concrete, and focused on an efficient result. Dinara Baykadamova, Askar Aitkenov, exclusively for Single Market.
In
today's world, to be competitive means keeping up to speed and reacting fast to the rapid changes. However, not every state, due to their bureaucratic complexes, is capable of doing this. For example, according to experts, one of the key factors of a country's development is considered to be the country's ability to provide businesses with certain guarantees. Our navigator, Alexander Galiev, addressed this issue from the perspective of the rating of economic freedom.
С точки зрения рейтинга экономической свободы.
The rating of economic freedom. It is compiled annually by the experts of the U.S. Research Center, the Heritage Foundation. The key indices that this rating is based on are guarantee of property rights, corruption, efficiency and transparency of budget spending, business freedom, trade, investments, and flexibility of the labor market.
Инвестиции, гибкость рынка труда.
Out of the countries of the Eurasian Economic Union, in this year's rating, Armenia showed the best results. The country was ranked 33rd, and last year it was ranked 54th. Experts noted that the diversification of the economy has led to a decrease in the level of poverty and unemployment, and the simplification of business procedures has facilitated greater efficiency of regulation.
Способствовало эффективности регулирования. Казахстан в рейтинге Heritage Foundation в 2000.
In the 2017 Heritage Foundation rating, Kazakhstan rose from 68th to 42nd place and found itself close to the ranks of countries such as Japan, Peru, and Bahrain. This is quite good. According to the authors of the research, the country's economy has been lately benefiting a lot from greater openness and flexibility. In addition, they note the need for deeper institutional reforms with the aim of lowering the barriers to attracting investments and increasing the efficiency of the judicial system.
Привлечение инвестиций и повышение эффективности судебной системы. Кыргызстан получил в рейтинге 89 место.
Kyrgyzstan was rated 89th, and this is an improvement by 7 positions than last year. Experts of the Heritage Foundation note that despite the realization of some reforms, overall the process of improvement of economic freedom is slow and unevenly distributed, and economic development is hindered by political instability.
Развитию препятствует политическая нестабильность. Беларусь в этом году занимает 104-е.
Belarus this year was ranked 104th. Last year it was in 157th position. The research experts know that the country has achieved insubstantial success in deregulation, but the restructuring of the economy is quite sluggish.
Является довольно вяло. У России в рейтинге экономической
Russia in the rating of economic freedom was ranked in 114th position. Considering the growth dynamic that we're observing today from our neighbors, this is definitely an understatement. By the way, last year Russia was ranked even lower, in 153rd. According to the experts of the Heritage Foundation, the development of Russia's economy is impeded by the country's negligence of legislative norms.
нормами права. И вместо резюме, в этом году в рейтинге экономической свободы
And instead of a summary, in this year's rating of economic freedom, all the countries of the Eurasian Economic Union were ranked higher than last year. But the results still leave much to be desired. Some experts in Eurasia believe that this rating is somewhat politicized. Perhaps. Nevertheless, trade turnover between the countries of the Economic Union in the last 2 years has decreased substantially. and the business communities of the Integration 5 often complain about the barriers that impede free trade. And this means that not everything is going well with the economic freedom in the Eurasian Economic Union. By the way, economies which are considered to be absolutely free are the economies of Hong Kong, Singapore, New Zealand, Switzerland and Australia. That's all from me. My name is Alexander Galiev. Until next time on Single Market.
Австралия. На этом у меня все. С вами был Александр Галиев. До встречи в программе «Рынок без границ».
Мировой рынок меди продолжает поддерживаться.
The world copper market is supported by the lower tariffs for the processing and purification of this metal. In addition, there is hope that in 2017, China and United States will commence realizing their large infrastructural projects, within the framework of which a rise in the demand for copper is forecasted. One way or another, the copper market is in a state of anticipation. However, this is just like everything else which can today be connected with an economic rise. At the same time, experts advise to focus on sustainable development of the sector. Oleg Boldarev found out how this works in practice in copper production. Chile is the world's richest country in terms of copper reserve volumes. It possesses 36% of the world's copper reserves. In second and third place are Indonesia and United States respectively, and in fourth place Kazakhstan. The confirmed reserves of our country amount to 6% or 37 million tons of copper. The main volume of copper reserves is concentrated in eastern and central Kazakhstan. What's more, a large share of this volume, 71%, is concentrated in cupriferous sandstones. This is the case for the Zhezkazgan deposit field, which is owned by the Kazakhmys Corporation.
Жезказганские концентраты уникальны. Во-первых, очень богаты.
The concentrates of the Zhezkazgan deposit field, first of all, are very rich in copper, and also contain elements such as rhenium and osmium. These are unique concentrates.
И осмий. Это уникальные концентраты.
The Zhezkazgan deposit field is comprised of 4 excavation sites, and in turn they are divided into mines. The 55th is considered to be one of the oldest in the Karaganda region, and at the same time the most technologically advanced. We get the ore from here and transport it through the portal to the ore stockpile. From there it is transported by an excavator to the factory. There is no need to unload it onto the tracks, and then to the lift, and then onto the dump tracks. For the 55th mine, the ore is delivered to other processing enterprises of the corporation. First and foremost, to the Zhezkazgan copper smelting plant, where cathode copper is produced. We produce up to 110,000 tons of cathode copper. What's more, 97% of it is of the highest M00K brand.
Самого высшего качества марки М20К.
That is why the main share of produced volume, more than 95%, is exported, including to the key importers, China and the countries of Western Europe. Despite the fact that Kazakhstan's copper enjoys the reputation of an established brand, the enterprise is looking for new paths of its development. One of them is the development of so-called cut-off grade ores. The construction of an experimental hydrometallurgy plant is underway. Hence, the plans of the corporation entail introducing refinement tailings, which have accumulated over the years, into the production.
Производство, хвосты обогащения, которые годами скапливались.
With the opening of the plant, copper production will have a new branch, comprehensive extraction of metals. Aside from copper, there will be a possibility to extract gold, silver, and other rare metals such as rhenium and osmium. Experts are forecasting that by 2050, the world's population will double. This in turn will inevitably cause a rise in the extraction levels of raw materials and the importance of the role they play in the contemporary world, especially in the digital economy. And as it is known, the main type of metal of this sector is copper. Oleg Boldarev. In order to create a modern production, Kazakhstan is interested not just in the attraction of foreign investments, but also in the latest technologies and highly qualified specialists who are ready to train local personnel. Of course, it is great when all this happens simultaneously as part of a comprehensive plan. However, it is not the worst thing if our businesses simply use foreign experience. Maria Kuznetsova will continue the story. Statistics bear a lot of information. For example, the fact that the share of domestic shoe companies is just 2%. Therefore, 98% of the products are imported. It is also known where they're imported from, without official data. The lower cost options are supplied by China, Turkey and Russia, and higher priced shoes from Italy. Italian shoes are considered to be the most prestigious in the world, and no one is disputing this. In terms of production volumes, Italy is considered to be one of the leading producers. The country is in third place after China and Brazil. By the way, Italian masters joke that it was God himself who bid them to become the leaders of the global shoe industry, because the Italian peninsula, in terms of its shape, reminds one of a shoe. Massimo Dionisi is a specialist of the shoe manufacturing business. He has been working in the sphere for already 30 years. Massimo obtained his training in the shoe artisanship at the school in the town of Fermo.
I work more country, Italy, and I go more country, India, Romania, Bulgaria, Ethiopia. My work is transfer know-how where needed. Now I start contract here, want my know-how, okay, I come here.
Here means at the Almaty enterprise, Kazakh-Prom. Massimo arrived here in October of last year. The enterprise hopes that thanks to the Italian master, it will be able to achieve two goals: set up a new assembly line and train its specialists in the production of designer shoes. Any dynamically developing enterprise has to keep up with the trends and manufacture products that will be appreciated by the market and consumers. This approach became possible at this enterprise after it underwent modernization. The enterprise has been operating on Kazakhstan's market for 6 years. Over this period of time, it accumulated good experience in the manufacturing of uniforms and special clothing. In addition, the management reached an understanding that they could achieve more by introducing new technologies and expanding the range of their products. The bet was placed on the manufacturing of designer shoes, and the decision was made to start with men's shoes. Concerning the equipment and technologies, the choice was obvious. The production line is Italian, with a capacity for 150,000 pairs of shoes. It gives new possibilities for the manufacturing processes, and new technologies are being implemented. New production lines were established here for the shoe pattern cutting and perforation. Thanks to this, the range of shoe models was expanded considerably. In addition, equipment was set up for the polishing of the shoes and the performance of the hem stitches. After that, once the plant specialists learned how to perform the new technological processes with the help of an Italian master, work commenced on the creation of experimental models. We first considered the collection itself, the process, how it will be done. The first issue is what kind of consumer are we focusing on? What do they need? We adjusted to the consumer demand. The Italian design was adapted here to the specificities of Kazakhstan's market, and not just consumer preferences were taken into account, but also the natural climate conditions. The presentation of the collection has proven that this was the right approach. We went to the international exhibition in Moscow and received an order there. The design, the models are interesting and correspond to the trends of fashion and demand. For now, a trial lot of shoes is being shipped to Russia's market. If it enjoys high demand from consumers, then full-fledged exports will be established here. We're considering the markets of the near and far abroad, but of course the model consumer for us is based on Kazakhstan's market. This is our focus. The enterprise is planning to produce up to 150,000 pairs of men's shoes annually, and on the domestic market, it will be competing with the producers of China, Turkey and Russia. The bid is on the optimal correlation of price and quality. At the same time, two forms of raw material supply chains are being considered, from Italian and Russian leather manufacturers for elite class shoes, and from Kazakhstan's manufacturers for more moderate price options. Together with production and design novelties, today the plant is introducing modern management technologies. For example, marketing strategies, how to analyze demand, develop supply for the market, and efficiently promote sales. The plans include opening their own retail locations, and within the framework of the program of support of non-oil and gas businesses, the enterprise will be able to receive governmental support. To reach the end consumer without intermediary dealers, distributors, is quite difficult. That is why, concerning the retail side, there is good support from the government. The first lot of men's shoes from the new collection will be available in the stores of Almaty by the beginning of this summer. At the same time, shipments are being organized to other regions of the country. In a year, the plant is planning to commence the production of women's shoes. Therefore, the Italian master Massimo Dionisi will have to stay in Kazakhstan a bit longer. But it seems that he's quite happy with this. In order to keep up with the modern trends, one must always be one step ahead. In terms of technological development, manufacturing of goods, use of the latest materials, and of course business organization. And these are the rules that this enterprise is trying to follow. Maria Kuznetsova, Anatoly Valuysky, Almaty, exclusively for Single Market. That's all for today. My name is Pavел Koktyshev. Kind reminder, all the episodes of our program are available on www.kazakh-tv.kz. Until next time on Single Market.